So I was thinking, sometimes growth begins with thank you. Thank you. Sometimes before we could grow, before we could move forward, I feel like we gotta say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for where I am today. Now, where you are may not be the place that you intend to stay, right? Obviously, we're talking about growth and moving forward. So you are not necessarily happy with where you are or who you're with. But thank you that I have gotten to this point and that I have learned my lesson. And so that going forward, I will not do things to ever be in a place like this again or ever be with a person like this again. See, sometimes I think we miss. I was thinking about this. I was like, you know what? I want this, I want that, I want this. We always want something, right? I mean, in life, a lot of times we always want something. And nothing's wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, right? Nothing is wrong with that. But growth, sometimes I feel like it's restricted because we have not first stopped to appreciate just how far we've come. We have not stopped and appreciated just how far we have come. Think about it. You might be in a relationship right now and it's not the greatest relationship. You might be at a job. It's not the greatest job. You're in whatever your situation is. It's not the situation that you currently want to be in. But now you've finally gotten to the point where you are ready to move on. And the reason you're ready to move on is because of the things that you have experienced. It's because of what you have been through. That's why you're ready to move on. If you had not had those experiences, because sometimes people tell us, don't do this, don't do that, don't be careful with this person, be careful with this person, either in a professional relationship or a personal relationship or whatever the situation. Be careful with this situation you're walking yourself in. Be careful, be careful, be careful. And sometimes we do not listen to folks. We got to learn on our own. We got to put our hands in the fire and we got to get burned. And maybe you are finally at the point now where you could say, God, thank you for getting me through whatever you have been through, right? Thank God for getting me to this point to where I finally recognize what my worth is. I finally recognize what happiness should look like, what happiness should feel like. I finally recognize that I could do better in my life. Thank you, God, for getting me to this point. And now that you're at this point, you say thank you. And you not only, it's not just a thank you, but you've also learned from what you have been through because of the person you've been around, because of the people you've been around, because of circumstances, because of your job situation. You have learned, you have the experience to now say thank you. And now I am ready to move forward. Thank you. And I am now ready to move forward. So how many of you are thankful? Because look, you can't change the past. You can't change the past. And as terrible as the situation is, there was a learning lesson inside of it that if you didn't catch it, if you don't catch that learning lesson, you are likely to repeat the same mistakes. That's why you got to say, thank you, God, for getting me to this point to where I have learned, hopefully, from my experiences. Because if you don't catch it, you are likely to repeat the same thing, make the same mistakes, and be hurt 10 times over and over and over and over and over again. So you know what? Yes, there's a lot we want to change. Yes, there's a lot we go through in life. Yes, there's a lot that we're unhappy with. But thank you, God, for getting me to this point. And thank you for letting me experience and have the lessons that I now have. I didn't necessarily need them this way, but sometimes you got to learn the hard way. And now I am ready to move forward with the rest of my life. Sometimes, growth begins and your prosperity begins and your rest of your life begins after you have said thank you. And now you could say, okay, yes, I am ready to move forward.